Another top 10 stupid 10 top lists stupid. The 11 absolute worst comic book movies of the 90s. I'm going to say I have to disagree because I have knowledge and taste unlike, well, this is GameSpot, so let's see. Batman and Robin, it's bad, but it still can be fun. It's not as bad as, let's say, Batman Forever, which came out 2 years prior. Barbed Wire, yes, that is just horrible. If I'm not mistaken way too much, I do believe they show her loading a shotgun, and I think they use the same clip for her putting shells in 5 or 6 times. Fantastic Four, well, since it wasn't released, I don't think you can really throw it on this list, but if we should compare it to the 3 other Fantastic Four movies that has been made, then that is probably the best. It's the most true to the story, true to the powers, best written. It's, well, if we go by Fantastic Four, that is probably the best we have gotten so far. Generation X, well, it's a TV series pilot. I know they called them movies, but that's to sell them in a better light. It's still very cheap and quickly made, so again, I'm torn here. The first Fantastic Four, which is one of the worst of the 90s, wasn't something people could watch in the 90s. And again, TV pilots like this often just got broadcast on, well, in this case, a Fox channel, so it wasn't worldwide. And Stallone, no, not by a long shot. It's actually pretty good for the time. This is one of those faults where you can't go back and say, oh, look at this movie, it's campy and dumb. It's nope. In this case, it's from the 90s. You can go further back and say, well, no, because that's the 80s. They might be bad, campy, shitty now, but you have to look at in the time perspective, if we can say that. Was it good for the time? Was it bad at that time? It had stupid stuff. It had Stallone as Judge Dredd. A man that is 170 centimeters tall is supposed to be a 2 meter tall sociopath. There's no real Judge Dredd traits about Stallone. And Rob Schneider didn't ruin it. It's just, he was the annoying comedic sidekick. He had the role of Judge Dredd's robot in this movie. So yeah, that's not good. But the movie in itself was fairly good made. It was popular. It wasn't bad compared to a lot of the movies from the time. So it's kind of dumb throwing this on the list, especially if you don't have any really good reasons, unless, oh, it's Sylvester Stallone, it's the 90s, oh, that's stupid. That's not really a good reason. And again, Nick Fury, TV movie. Well, TV pilot, so limited to the US and Canada, I guess. The Phantom, as far as I know, it was pretty popular. It did well. It has the 90s thing that I've mentioned before. It's a little bit slow, not as action-packed as movies are nowadays. And again, the Phantom isn't a flashy, super powered superhero, so yeah. Spawn, the movie, was okay. It was not a very good adaptation, but I'd like to throw this out here. Again, look at the time. It says the special effects were bad. No, not for the time. Sure, it could probably have been better if it had a way bigger budget and stuff, but as of the time it was made, and not many movies had much better visuals than this, and especially not a CGI showcase like this. It had probably too much CGI, and sure, if you look at it now, it's not amazing, but it's not really that bad either compared to lots of movies we see. Jack, Steel, sure, bad. Tank Girl, now I'm gonna put my foot down. That movie is good. It's based on a good comic, and if you read the comic and see the movie, you'll see they made a fantastic movie out of it. It's very true to the feelings, the drawings, the people, everything. Not perfect, nothing ever is, but you can't blame that movie for being bad in any way, and you can't blame it for not being true to the comic. If you don't like the movie, you don't like it. The lead is a girl, she's a bit crass, but that is how she is in the comics too. The only reason not to like this movie is, well, it has a girl hero in it. Other than that, you don't have any taste if you don't like the movie. It's like a whacked out Mad Max movie with Mad Max being a girl, which some people apparently think makes a movie bad. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't bad. It was probably one of the biggest of the movies with some time travel and stuff. It was fine. And just to point out how stupid this list is, well, I will in a second, but let's just go with this. A person, I guess it's the one who wrote it on a different username. I'm gonna have to respectfully say, oh hell no, to a person who said the movies wasn't necessarily that bad. Judge Dredd was a schlocky mess, and Stallone spent more time running around with his helmet off. The worst offender, Rob Schneider, him alone automatically ruins the rest of the movie. He's in it from the first scene, more or less. And sure, he runs around with the helmet off, and he's not a judge, but it is loosely based on one of the stories in the Judge Dredd comics. But again, you can't say it's a schlocky mess without coming with some kind of specifics, because it's a 90s movie. It's just like the rest of them were. The only thing is it's set in a messed up future, a dystopian future. And yes, he doesn't have the helmet because he's not a judge. And I don't see how Rob Schneider alone ruins the rest of the movie since it's from the first scene. That's just being mad and going with the, oh, Rob Schneider's in it, so it's bad. He had a period where he was pretty popular, where people, like I guess this guy wouldn't say this because, oh, now he's popular. I say he's popular. Spawn was an ugly, toothless movie, filled with horrible makeup. Blah, blah, blah. Worst visual effects even by late 90s standard. Oh, you can't say that. It was good for the 90s. It might be bad for the 2020s. Sure, this was ILM, responsible for hits like Jurassic Park. Well, again, Jurassic Park, one of the things that sold that was it wasn't CGI, it was actually big models when they were up close. So, oh yeah, this guy's an idiot, doesn't know what he's talking about, but no excuse for the effects looking like an N64 PS1 game. Okay, he should really watch the movie. And when he sees that and says, oh, that's ugly, then show him a goddamn PS1 game. Tank Girl, can't remember too much from it, so it gets off easy. Again, so a person who just comes with hate because, well, I've decided it's bad for no reason. But let's see, that should be the 11 worst movies from the 90s. And as I mentioned, why didn't they perhaps use Batman Forever instead? That was way worse than any of this. Captain America, way worse. And not even a pilot for a series. The Crow, City of Angels, also pretty bad. The Justice League movie, bad. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, really bad. Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, even worse. RoboCop 3, horrible. And with that, I'd like to say I think I've already beaten their list with way worse movies. And none of them were not real movies. And they were all available for people to see. So that was a stupid top stupid list.